Start by making your pom-poms. Take your pom-pom makers and pop out the middle section. This is the bit you will need to make your large pom-poms. Do this on both sides until you have something that looks like this. Then put both of the ridged sides together. You'll see that there's a ridge around the side, and this is where your scissors will go when you cut out your pom-pom. So it's essential that you have the two ridged sides together, not the flat sides. Separate your two halves so you're left with two semicircles. In total, you're aiming for 4 pom-poms, 2 large and 2 small. Each colour will make either a full large pom-pom or 2 small pom-poms. Select the colour you're using for one of your large pom-poms. Start wrapping the wool round the half semicircle, making sure again that the two ridged sides are together. Keep wrapping until you've used roughly half of your ball of wool and the middle semicircle is flat with wool. Chop the ball of wool off of your pom-pom maker and repeat with the second half. When you get to the end of your ball of wool, leave roughly a foot of wool extra. Cut it off from the pom-pom maker. Take both halves and pop them together. Use your scissors to cut the wool round the circumference of the pom-pom maker, starting at this little gap here. When you're finished cutting, it should look something like this. Ease the two halves of your pom-pom maker apart, so there's a slight gap in the middle. Take your string and slot it in between the two circles. Pull it tight around the wool, as this is what's tying the whole pom-pom together. Tie a strong double knot in amongst the two discs. Remove your pom-pom maker carefully, and there you have it, your first pom-pom. Leave the long strings on it as we'll use them to attach our pom-pom to the wreath. Use a large pom-pom maker to make another large pom-pom. Now make your 2 small pom-poms. Pop out the little circle from the middle of your small pom-pom maker and repeat the process as before. It's now time to make your felt holly leaves. Each piece of felt will make 3 leaves. You will have 9 in total. Take your felt and draw 3 leaves on each and cut them out. Simple leaf shapes work best. Cut a small piece of the double-sided tape and place it in the bottom corner of your leaves. Remove the pink film from the double-sided tape and press one of your metal wires into the tape. Squeeze, sticking the tape back to itself to create a little pucker in the bottom of the leaves. We are now going to attach wire to some of our fruits. The fruits look best layered up and in 2s or 3s as they have a bit more impact. To wire on the flat fruits, take a piece of wire roughly about a foot long and cut it. Bend your piece of wire in half so that you have a loop at one end and 2 pointed ends at the other. Take the 2 raw ends and thread them through the flesh of your fruit, roughly 1 centimetre apart. Carefully pull both ends through so that the loop comes closer to the fruit and creates a metal stitch on the top. Do this again for the next fruit that you want to attach. So take a foot of wire and bend it in half so that you have a loop at one end and 2 pieces of raw metal at the other. Thread both of the ends through the flesh of the fruit, roughly 1 centimetre apart, and pull through so that this loop pulls down towards the fruit. Repeat this with as many fruits as you want on the same wire. To wire on your circular fruits, take a similar length of wire and this time pop the piece of fruit in the middle of the wire. Make sure the wire goes into one of the slits in the fruit lengthways and bring both pieces round to the back. Twist so that the fruit is securely on the wire. You can also use this method to attach pine cones. Remove the baubles from any strings they're already on and thread them onto the wire in pairs or 3s. Slide them down to the middle of the wire and twist to secure them on. Now it's time to assemble our wreath. We're going to fill half of the wreath with our items. Start by adding the pom-poms and tying them on at the back with the strings we left on from earlier. You can do this however you like. The pom-poms often look good in 2s or 3s. Have a look at our Instagram image for some inspiration. Next, add the fruits. Place them flat on the wreath and bring your wires round to the back, twisting like a cable tie to secure. Again, you can add these wherever you like. It's a bit of a space filling exercise at this point. Attach your baubles in the same way. They often look good nestled amongst other items, kind of peeking out for a bit of glitter. Then, add your circular fruit. Treat this as your 5th pom-pom. To attach your cinnamon, take your string and in the middle of the string, wrap it round the cinnamon once. Lay the cinnamon flat on the wreath and pass either piece of string round the back of the wreath. Cross the strings over and switch hands as if you're wrapping a parcel. Bring the 2 strings back round to the front and tie a bow. This makes a feature of how you've attached it. Finally, it's time to add the holly and berries. These look great popping out from behind the pom-poms and fruit. Attach them by slipping the wires in amongst the rattan, not through to the back. They should just sit snugly. Do the same for the berries, adding them in amongst the leaves with the wires.